Hello, hello, hello. What's going on, loves? Mwah. Welcome back to another episode of A Beautiful Nightmare. This is your hostess with the mostest, Jess. Thank you so much for stopping by. Oh boy, y'all don't even know how hard I've been trying to get on this video and talk to y'all today, but the devil is a lie. So I'm gonna go ahead and get right in it. Um, the Lord been telling me to get on here and offer a message offer a message, and I was just like, well, what am I going to say, Lord? What am I going to say? And just going about my day this morning. It's not even 10 o'clock in the morning, and so much has already happened on this Monday that the Lord, I finally brought something to it. And it was, the message I was given was, when you have to be the bad guy. When people just want you to be the bad guy. They just want you to be the bad guy. Right now, I'm in my studies in the book of Ezra in the Bible, and King Cyrus of Persia has just brought everyone out of exile, right? And he's given an order for them to begin to rebuild the temple of the God of Israel, our living God. And everything keeps coming against these people trying to rebuild. I mean, and it took multiple kings to go through for them to get this temple, the temple of the Lord, fully rebuilt, right? But the way that brought relevancy to me as far as being the bad guy, when people just want you to be the bad guy, is when you're doing something good in your life, when you're doing good on your job, when you are having getting along with your family inside the house or outside the house, when you are building up your finances, when you are continuing your education, when you're just literally staying in your own lane, man, people just do not like it. People do not like it. They will do everything to try to tear you down. They will do everything. They will gossip about you. You'll have people coming into your life that you ain't heard from in months and years and stuff like that, just to get a little juice, because they like, wait a second, they must be doing good because they ain't even called me or anything like that. People just cannot stand to see you doing good. And the Lord said, just hold on, because everything is going to come against you. There's a part in the book of Ezra, and they're talking about the enemies that are coming against the people that are trying to rebuild the temple. And it says, enemies oppose the rebuilding. Look, I ain't even gonna go all the way into the chapter because I can't recall it that fast, but just the detail of the name of the chapter should say it all. Enemies oppose the rebuilding. Now look, y'all can read this chapter. This is going to be Ezra chapter 4. Look. Enemies are going to oppose you rebuilding or building your life. Okay? Because some of us, let's be quite frank, and I'm one of them, some of us have had situations where we've fallen off in some areas. Maybe we haven't taken as good a care of ourselves as we should have because we've given so much attention and care to other people. Maybe we did not go through and continue that education. Maybe we fell behind in bills because we sitting up trying to give everybody else a handout and help everybody else out. Maybe we didn't pick up the extra shift because we trying to watch somebody else's kids because they going through some stuff. Just giving way too much of yourself, giving too much of your time, giving too much of your money, giving too much of your attention, to the point where people have completely moved past being grateful for it and appreciating it. It moves right into entitlement. And it kind of leaves you feeling messed up because you're like, well, dang, why didn't I take heed? Why didn't I get what was mine in the meantime? Like, I'll give you this if you give me this. But that's because you're not that type of person. It's because you're a good, kind-hearted person. And because of that, people see that light in you. Trust me, people see that light in you. People see that generosity in you. People see that they can trust in you. People know when you don't want your reputation or your name to be smeared, and so they'll abide in what they say. You abide in what they say in order to keep that drama low. But I'm gonna tell you what, you got the opportunity. You got the opportunity to stay in your own lane. You have the opportunity to rebuild despite your enemies. It's going to be harder, yes. But at the same time, wouldn't you rather want to know who your enemies are? So you have to protect yourself. You cannot allow people to come in and try to bully their way into, elbow their way into your life and bully their way through. All right? If you're doing what is right and you ain't trying to hurt nobody in the meantime, God got you. Okay? All you got to do is pray, pray, pray. Give the Lord the thanks. And if anybody's coming against you in opposition because you just simply trying to do what's best for your life, that's a sign to move them folks around. Okay? It don't matter if it's your child. It don't matter if it's your parent. It don't matter what family member it is, cousins, friends, lifelong friends. I'm trying to tell y'all, look, I've had friends for over decades that the second things started going good in my life, they didn't know how to act. Boy, they didn't know how to act. When I first met my husband, I'm gonna give you this example. When I first met my husband, and this was years ago, but when I first met my husband, we was taking trips. I was introducing him to my family out of state. He hadn't had certain experiences in his life, and I wanted to offer him those experiences, and he was showing me things that I hadn't seen in life. So we were, how you get into a relationship and everything is new and you're trying to show each other what your life is and incorporate each other into each other's life and things like that. Boy, let me tell you, I had a really good friend, or so what I thought was a really good friend. Had this friend for over 10 years. Over 10 years, one of my best friends, okay? We were in Texas at the time. We went on a family vacation at the time, and she called right in the middle of us getting ready to sit down and eat dinner at a restaurant. So I simply asked her, I told her what was going on. I said, hey, would you mind if I gave you a call when I get back to Minnesota? She had all attitude, like, well, I guess, and this, that, I mean, just didn't even try to hide the fact that she was disgruntled or anything like that. And it took me back. It took me back because I was like, well, wait a second, is everything all right? Yeah, everything fine. It just hung up. I was like, oh. So when I got back to Minnesota, I tried to reach out to her, like I said that I would. Because I was like, well, now I feel bad because maybe there was something really going on that she really needed to talk to me about at that point in time. But I asked her at that point in time, like, are you sure? I mean, if it's something for real, like I got I could take 5 minutes, it's fine. When I got back to Minnesota, she had deleted me from all of her social media accounts. She wouldn't answer the phone for me. Tried to turn her mama and her kids against me, but I love them and they was raised with me. So that's another thing. Don't think that just because somebody is mad, especially when you have like a group of people, but be careful of that too, because haters flock. Okay, haters flock. And usually in points and times like this is actually one of the very few times that I have fallen out with somebody and they have not been able to get their minions behind them. Okay, but 9 times out of 10, when something like this happens and you fall out with somebody or they fall out with you, whatever the case may be, they're gonna pull every resource that they can to turn against you. They're gonna go on smear campaigns, and this predominantly happens usually when I've seen it the most. It's usually in family dynamics, like cousins and things like that. You get into it with your family member, and all of a sudden they want to smear you to the whole rest of the family. And then the family actually ends up believing, but the only reason the family believes is because they felt some type of way too. Because if they know you, they wouldn't just be going with what this one person is saying. And if they know them, they definitely wouldn't be going with what this one person is saying. But if they agree with them and they continue to spread that, they thought the same thing about you too. Okay? So, I'm just saying, like the Lord said in the book of Ezra, it said it perfectly. Enemies will oppose the rebuilding, okay? Even if there is earthly ordainment, even if there's earthly authority, enemies will go against your rebuilding. Enemies will go against you. They will oppose you at every single turn. And that's how you know you need to leave them alone, okay? That's how you know you need to leave them alone. I always say, when somebody shows you and tells you who they are, believe them. Do not second guess them, because you will continue to waste your time. You will waste your energy. You will waste good emotion. Okay? Another situation, all right? I'm going to go ahead and tell you all this other situation. I'm going to get up off of here because I really want to drill home that enemies will oppose your rebuilding. Okay? I had a friend, family, whatever, situation where I had a female person that I was in contact with, and this person was going through some severe domestic abuse for years with the same person. I had offered during that time frame money. I had offered to take the children. I had offered to let this person come and move in with me. I had offered jobs. Okay, I had offered so many different things to this person, and it just got to the point where there were situations that were consistently reoccurring, where at one point, a person's child called me. I'm on my way a complete opposite direction out of town. I canceled my trip out of town because this child was hiding in a closet because they were afraid of the domestic violence that was going on in the home at that time. So I had to drop everything, turn around, get back, called the cops to the house, and ended up somehow getting there. I am an hour away from the house. Somehow I ended up getting there before the officers, okay? That was one situation. The person was removed from the home. Everything was getting better. Allowed that person to move back into the home. Now you got the government and all the protective services for the children involved, because this person's been allowed to come back into the home. And guess what? No surprise. Not only did it pick back up, but it got worse. Okay? I'm offering all the same things. Talk on the phone with this person for hours, trying to convince them to, I will come and get you right now. Okay? I will come and get you right now. At least let me come and get the children. Okay? None of that. None of that. So finally, I said, you know what? I can't take it anymore. Can't take it anymore. I cannot. It's starting to affect my health, and it's starting to affect my household. Okay? So, look, I'm going to reach out my hand to you. I'm going to reach out to you one last time and offer you these services. I'm going to offer you this help. But if you are unwilling to take it, I'm going to have to leave you where you're at. I'm so sorry. Lord knows it was hard for me. Boy, I cried for months before I made the decision. It was, I'm still crying about it now. I'm still scared now, you know? So, I mean, I'm a lot better. I'm not on the floor boo-hooing or anything like that like I was initially. But I obviously have a heart, you know? But anyways, when I reached out for that last time to this person, you know what, this person completely turned on me. After everything I had done, Always had to been by their side, even long before this situation. We've known each other our entire lives. Our entire lives, we've known each other. You know, you got one of them childhood friends. We've known each other our entire lives, okay? You know, this person came back at me like, well, do you know when you did this back in the day and I had your back and stuff like that? And I said, honey, are you really reaching back 15 years to bring something relevant to me right now? Do you really think that I'm the same person that I was 15 years ago? And regardless of what happened in those 15 years, nothing I did was against you. Nothing. I mean, oh, she was hot, calling me all kinds of stuff, saying that I was probably the reason that these services were called and things like that. I said, you got to be kidding me. Of everybody that knows about this situation, I was the real one. I was the real one. But that's neither here nor there. I say that to say this. When you are rebuilding yourself, the instant that I got into my truth and realized this is too much for me to handle, especially if this person is unwilling to make a change for themselves, therefore I need to protect myself and my family. The second I had come up with that truth, the second that I let that truth be known, the second I spoke up for myself. Oh, it was okay when I was offering, but the second that I spoke up for myself and said, look, this is becoming toxic for my life, ooh, baby, the enemies opposed the rebuilding. Remember that. Remember that. If someone's ever opposing you wanting to be better in your life, leave them alone. Leave them alone. Don't mess with it. Don't mess with it. You know what? You leave them alone and you pray for them. That's all you can do. You leave them alone and you pray for them and you continue rebuilding your life in the name of Jesus. Amen. Amen. All right. I went way further than what I was going to, but I love y'all so much and the Lord just wouldn't let me get on with my day without saying that to y'all. So Ezra chapter 4. The enemies oppose the rebuilding. Y'all, it's a beautiful nightmare, but we can wake up and have a wonderful, beautiful life. So next time, I love y'all so much. Mwah.